We've got Luke's lightsaber in hiding somewhere. We've
Not
got
somewhere, in someone.
in someone.
Yeah. Luke's like, yeah, this is the same maneuver I pulled off back in Star Wars.
Do you think he just like does this with R2 as a game?
Luke is like one of those dogs in that toy where the dogs are supposed to put the tennis ball in it. And he puts it in and he launches it and he goes and chases after it.
Yeah. Luke's the dog.
I was thinking more of this as like a father-son thing, but now it's like, now I definitely see Luke as the dog chasing after this automated throwing machine. Hello there, you found the Lost Holocron, an artifact of lore and legends from a galaxy far, far away. Each transmission of the Lost Holocron, you will join an episodic discussion of media from a Star Wars universe. We will be your guides. Astromech T1M.
Oh my god, I knew it would be that.
Gonk Power Droid KY1.
Gonk.
Pit Droid SKT.
I got nothing.
He got nothing.
Yeah, no, that's a hard sound to make. They're by far the most electronic.
Yeah.
Like with the Astromech, I can go, woo! And then Scott's like...
The little chittering that they make.
Yeah.
And I am Protocol Droid S2RT.
Nice.
Human cyborg relations.
Yeah, wouldn't be anything else.
Yeah. All right. This transmission, we'll be covering the material up to and including Chapter 28 of Heir to the Empire. Tim, what's the story so far?
So far, damn, this is a fun one.
Sorry,
I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna do it. I want to.
We believe in you.
Thank you.
We're doing it live.
Yeah.
After Luke Skywalker's X-Wing sustained damage to its hyperdrive in an altercation with an Imperial Star Destroyer, Grand Admiral Thrawn puts out a bounty for his capture. By either chance or intention, Luke is picked up by smuggling Lord Talon Karrde, who is reluctant to break his neutrality in the struggle between the Imperial Remnants and the New Republic. They return to Myrkr, but Luke escapes, followed by Mara Jade. Luke crashes both his and his pursuer's Skipray starfighters in the harsh Myrkr forest. Jade recaptures Luke, marching him at blasterpoint through the forest to reach their destination at Hillyard. Circumstantially present to witness the chase, Thrawn is told by Karrde that it is an internal dispute. Thrawn departs to prepare for a military operation, but suspecting subterfuge leaves a contingent of stormtroopers to receive the crashed pilots trekking through the wilderness. Having uncovered the incidental abduction of Luke, Han Solo and Lando Calrissian work with the indebted Karrde to guide Mara and Luke to safety. In the forest, Luke and Mara receive the encrypted warning of the waiting stormtroopers. After sleepless days of marching, Mara reaches a breaking point and reveals that she was an operative known as the Emperor's Hand. She blames Luke for the Emperor's death and her own subsequent ruination.
We got it.
We'll fix that in the post.
All right, Stuart, as revenge, what happened this chapter?
It's not much revenge since I wrote these things. After the catharsis about her past, Mara has dropped her overt hostility and adopted a more surly attitude towards Luke, more willingly working with him to exit the forest. With the sound of the Imperial speeders echoing around them, Luke and Mara discuss the best strategy for emergence. He stores his lightsaber in R2-D2's dome for safekeeping, they exchange weapons and swap apparent roles, and Mara applies some erythrogenic local flora to Luke's face to obscure his identity. Prepared, they emerge from the forest into the hands of the Imperials. They are taken to the Major in charge of the Imperial contingent, who regards them with suspicion. In spite of Luke's feigned protests, they are both detained until further interrogation in the city. On Hillard's High Street, a group of Karrde's henchmen is relieved of their weapons while delivering a scoundrel, a roughed-up Han Solo, for Imperial justice. However, Han is a plant. He had warned the Imperial detainees of Karrde's imminent ambush. Seeing a tactical opportunity, Luke creates a commotion so that R2-D2 can inform the ambushers via C-3PO in binary droid speak on the optimal timing for their attack.
What kind of plant do you think Han is?
Obviously a shady one.
This was a fun chapter. I think Luke was being a little... I don't know. Just the fact that he was just like, oh, I don't know if it's true. Is this what a Jedi would do? Like, I think you make the rules of what a Jedi does now.
I know, right? I was like, come on.
Mhm.
Obi-Wan did this in A New Hope.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
always says
You have
he's
seen a Jedi do this thing. There is no moral quandary here.
Yeah.
But he has no problem with like shooting another pilot at, he has no problem with killing somebody.
In
Yeah.
fact, he does it in his sleep. He passed out and killed a bunch of people.
Right.
Yeah.
When he met Obi-Wan, he was lying, saying his name was Ben.
Yeah. Hiding your identity seems like a-okay in the Jedi rulebook.
Maybe now that he's not connected to the Force, he's less mindful and he's overthinking.
Mm,
Yeah.
quite possibly.
Yeah.
But we're also reaching a point as well that Luke is becoming very unsure because he has to, every step that he takes is going to be, create echoes within the new Jedi Order that he built.
True.
So he does need to pay very careful attention to the kind of path that he's walking that he expects other people to follow.
Yeah.
That's a very fair point. Yeah.
He's a space pope.
I do think that is a fair point, but you also do have to realize that I'm sure he's doing things that the Empire is already saying that the Jedi did. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think the Empire is going around being like, the Jedi, solid guys, great people. I'm sure they're saying they're sneaky lying bastards who try to take everyone out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See that Jedi over there? They turned me into a newt.
I got better. But yeah, this black and white thinking coming from Luke is getting, a little frustrating.
Yeah. Baby's first ethics class.
Luke was definitely not, shouldn't have been the first option to be the next generation of Jedi.
Yeah.
It should have been Leia.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They should have switched the planets they were put on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now all the Jedi are like whiny little bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backwater, parochial-minded Luke is supposed to be the,
Hillbillies.
going to be the ethical center of the universe for the next generation. But I mean, he's also a little bit untainted as well unjaded by the universe, which is probably what they were going for, because Leia is a little bit more, well, not in these books, but like you could imagine her in another universe being a little bit more, struggling for the rebellion, being jaded against the political process, and that being difficult to have this kind of like life-loving, starry-eyed person.
Yeah. I mean, we have seen her tired by the political process in this book.
Yeah.
I remember at one point in an earlier chapter, she mentioned she kind of missed the days of the rebellion because it felt like simpler compared to what's happening now.
Yeah.
It's nice when you can just use your blaster instead of your words.
Yeah. It simply makes storytelling a lot easier.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can rely on a blaster a lot more than you can rely on your words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, I started blasting.
You can try to convince people of things all you want, but if you shoot them with a blaster, it's going to have the same effect every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is that what we're going to see? Like we said that everyone's going back to Coruscant, that there's going to be this big civil war starting, and then Leia comes in and is like,
Yeah.
Leia's gonna have fun again.
Yeah. I feel alive.
You shot my hair.
She's going to come in with one of those like Clone Wars miniguns that they had.
They made some mention of like both hover bikes and hover scouts, I believe, and it reminded me of the droid, the Staps, on the
Yeah.
episode 1, which I think is a really underrated vehicle.
Yeah, those are fun.
And I read in the Wikipedia that originally when they were coming up with the designs for these things, it was supposed to be like single troop hover pogo stick or something like that was like their working title or something that they changed to like aerial platform. I think that's what it came up with in the end.
That's awesome.
But yeah, just thinking about like stormtroopers riding around on these little platforms, it seems like pretty cool. I want to see those.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that's a good combo. Mara seems a little friendlier to Luke. Actually, a fair amount friendlier.
Yeah.
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 I think they are a little more understanding that, now they're both in this ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one, like, she did have control over the situation before, but as soon as she found out that Thrawn was onto them, it's over. It's like we both got to get out of this now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I was kind of under the impression that it was a bit like fast, but no, you're making a lot of sense there.
Well, and that's the other thing is that, yeah, she seems a lot nicer. It could be a front to get her out of this.
Right. She still has her own motivations in mind.
As soon as she is safe, she could go back to her pissed off self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which does seem like the skills that the Emperor's hand would be a good skill to have.
Right.
Yeah. Has she had any sleep at this point?
No.
She could be hallucinating.
Yeah. It'd just be like completely delusional, like whatever, let's just get out of this forest.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, even more so. She's not in her peak right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
She's weaker and she knows it. And she also knows Luke, even though she hates him, is a Jedi chump who she can abuse. Because remember, when they both crashed, she waited in her ship with her gun out because she knew that Luke was still going to come check on her.
Right.
Yeah. All she needs to do is like trip over and go, he comes, steps down to help her up, and she's got a blaster in his face already.
Mara knows that if she were to pretend to fall over, Luke would pick her up, put her on the cart with R2, and then you drag them both out of the jungle.
Yeah. I do think it also feels a little jarring, though, because we haven't given any indication of her having a personality before this.
It's all, her personality's been anger.
She's been like one mood throughout the book.
Yeah. That's just her personality, though. It's just anger.
Yeah. Now, granted, it could say like that's Luke's effect, but I mean, I think by comparison, it can also feel jarring to go from that to this.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's been the mood around Luke, but we've had previous chapters where she is quite business minded with Karrde.
Sure.
So the first chapter, she was like, "Oh, what's this dinner that you invited me to? This isn't something that I should be reporting to HR about, is it?" And then as soon as he's like, "No, I want to bring you in on the business," he's like, "Okay, well, I've got these things already. I think that this could be much more efficient in these ways." So we have got like a pragmatic part to her personality, as well as the
True.
I think she's probably also trying to figure out her personality. I mean, she was the Emperor's evil spy, and what?
That's very fair.
What kind of personality do you have if you're an evil? No one's like after the hallway scene with Darth Vader. No one is like, but what's his motivation? He's just an evil dude doing what he's being told.
Yeah.
No, that's a really excellent point. Actually, I didn't think about it that way.
Yeah, I did with Karrde. Might be the first time in a long time that she has time to figure out who the f- she is, what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of like Nebula from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like that, because she said she's been scrounging around for 4.5 years until she got in with Karrde 6 months ago. And so, if she's been working in survival mode for that long, and, that's not an environment to figure out who you are and what you want and what's going on. And then she's been sort of undercover, I guess, in this 6-month tenure with Karrde. So that's a really good point. Who is the real Mara? And she hasn't had any cult deprogramming either, as well. People that come out of cults, that they need to go through some quite intensive psychological help in order to deprogram what they've learnt from being in a cult for so long.
Right.
Is Mara Jade even her real name?
Maybe not.
I would argue what is a real name.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we talked about it. We don't know what we do know before this. Yes, right hand of the Emperor, but before that, we don't know where she got picked up from.
Yeah.
I would like to see more.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about in the last chapter with the people, the crew of the ship. Like they're there because they don't have any other option. Mara Jade is now looking for other options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't know. Like, I don't think she has a loyalty to the Empire because he's aware of Thrawn. So if she wanted you, she probably could go. Like, do you think Thrawn is even aware? Thrawn is aware of everything. Do you think Thrawn is aware of the Emperor's assassin?
I'm sure he knew that the Emperor had some kind of program in place or some kind of, specific, maybe not specific individuals, but I'm sure he knew that the Emperor had secret assassins or at least assumed.
I think he would just figure it out.
Yeah.
He'd see like a weird political unrest and he'd be like, that doesn't fit this species culture.
Yeah. Maybe he even suggested to Palpatine that you need somebody like this in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just, but yeah, if I don't see any loyalty to the Empire because if there was, she would have just with the Thrawn. Why wouldn't you be like, hey, I was the right hand. We're getting this done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, with her skills, Thrawn could have use for her.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, she is aware of Thrawn.
Right.
He might be aware of her position, but not her personally.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think that he could pick her out in a crowd.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking. He would assume that the Emperor had that position, that role, but not. But yeah.
Not necessarily the identities of those that were in that position.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fun question, though. Can anyone pick her out in a crowd? Did anyone know what Mara Jade looked like? Did she have a badass, like, Sith outfit? was she Darth something?
No, it seemed like she was...
Yeah, not likely.
Yeah, just blend into the crowd and, I don't know, be distracting, be glitter in the room while the real political workings were happening.
I can't remember what it was. There was that thing I was reading where this highly trained assassin, he took off his mask and he was just kind of described as extremely plain looking, like the most average person ever. And that's what helped him is that he just blended in super well.
Well, that was like the original. Yeah. That was like the original Boba Fett actor.
Right.
He was like this regular dude. I can't remember his name. I'm really sorry. I cannot remember his name.
I can see his face.
But it's like he's just like this regular dude with like, he's just like got short hair and he's like smiling. He's like, hey.
It's not Paige you're thinking about, is it? Paige from chapter 2. Paige was the commando that was. Wedge was sitting there being the obvious bodyguard, and then Paige was somewhere else in the background being Mr. Average.
Oh man, that's going back. It's all coming full circle.
But no, there was a book I read called The Day After Tomorrow, which is unconnected to the disaster movie, where a guy he sees his father's assassin, who's like this really plain looking guy, but when he pursues him, the assassin is actually an amputee on his shins. He has both his shins amputated, and so he has extendable...
Like Go-Go Gadget legs?
Well, no, his prosthetics are variable, right? They're telescopic. So he can, disappear in a crowd by pretending, coming in as this 6'2" assassin and then adjusting his prosthetics to walk out as a 5'4"
Neat.
Just like Inspector Gadget.
Nobody.
Stilt man.
Which is another great book. So if anybody is wanting recommendations, I do recommend.
Sorry, I haven't read Star Wars books.
The Day After Tomorrow book is by Alan Folsom.
Nice. Another thing I was a big fan of in this chapter: dangerous plants.
Yep. I always love dangerous plants.
I always want more deadly plants in forest. The forest and the jungle was a dangerous place. Everything there should try to kill you.
Yeah. I like the story that Luke told as well, that he was like chasing after and fell face first into this, and now his face is all swollen.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively fell face first.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is a fun concept to disguise one's identity.
Yeah.
It was done in Harry Potter as well.
That was it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they get captured and they do like a stinging hex on his face, so it like swells up, so they can't recognize Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah. This sounds so much worse, though. Experiencing this.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't sound too bad. He's like, oh man, it really itches at first, but that goes away. But
that would drive me crazy. I can't stand that.
He acted like it was a lot more painful on his arm, and it itched for a lot longer, but his face didn't really seem to bother him much.
Maybe.
At that point, he knew what to expect.
Like, yeah, I guess
Right.
so.
Right.
Just because you know what to expect doesn't mean it doesn't bug the crap out of you. Hang on, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like the long-term itch is the thing that's going to get you rather than the initial sting. And even like the major was like, ugh, what happened to your face?
Yeah, right.
have you guys ever got poison ivy? Because I imagine this is just a reimagined poison ivy.
I might have. I can't recall.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's poison ivy in Australia or Japan. So holly,
We have it.
holly is something we got told not to touch. Wild holly.
Really? Holly? We have a ton of poison oak around here.
Don't mess with poison oak. Yeah.
Don't mess with anything with poison in its name.
Yeah.
Oh, but
know.
so you guys have the Gimpy Gimpy plant.
Gimpy plant? I've never heard of that.
You never heard of that? It's Australian.
It's a big country.
Did you know the Venus flytraps only live in the United States?
What?
In your neck of the woods, Tim.
I'm going to change that.
Going around stomping on everything.
Yeah. I'm going to bring
it's
the
kinda
Venus flytrap to the world.
It's kind of like when you mention fireflies to somebody. Like there's people in the United States who have no idea what fireflies are.
Yeah. I used to see those a lot as a kid. Not anymore.
I don't go outside anymore. The sun is a deadly laser.
They're not right. They're not supposed to live in California, but I swear to God, I've seen them.
Apparently the Gimpy is from Queensland. So I'm
Right.
from Tasmania and Western Australia. So I've never seen those. Which is why the holly
fortunate.
in Tasmania was what was dangerous.
Yeah, well, be happy that you've never seen it because apparently it's unbearable. It, like, drives people to suicide is what I've heard.
Oh, jeez.
No. The amount of carnivorous plants is upsetting.
There's too few or too many?
I wish there were actual carnivorous plants that could eat, like, large animals and humans. I really wish that those existed.
I mean, there are those ones that are like that, like small
Just be
rodents
so
can
cool.
get eaten by.
Oh, yeah. There's a bird-eating spider in Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. I
Creatively
respect
named
that.
the bird-eating spider.
Oh, wow.
And was it the funnel trap spider as well or something?
The funnel
Trapdoor
webs?
spider.
trapdoor spiders are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, the funnel webs. You guys get the funnel webs too.
Yeah. Be careful, guys.
I was reading that thing on African cryptids, and like there's one that is just a very like 4 foot long trapdoor spider.
Ooh.
And it's like, yeah, that sounds like just real. That sounds like something that can actually exist.
Is it based on Anansi?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just that like there's lots of parts of the world that are undiscovered, and some people have said that you can find these huge ass spiders, and it's totally believable.
I'm never going there. Yeah, no. I struggle with large spiders in video games, so I can't imagine it in real life. I don't turn arachnophobia mode on, though. Because sometimes it's scarier than the spider.
The Ralph McQuarrie spiders are super cool from like the concept art.
Yeah, I love that design.
Yeah, and then I love that they used it in that episode of Mando. That was so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they kind of look like the Kinrath.
Yeah, sorry if I butcher this name, but the spider cryptid is the Jabba-Fofi.
Nice. Can you link it?
Yes, I am.
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite carnivorous plant cryptids is, I think it's called the Yataveo, which is like the native language for like ICU, I think it's called. I can't remember how to spell it though.
Oh god, Kyle, I cannot handle this spider.
Yeah.
Instantly close that tab. Sorry. I had a visceral reaction to that.
Yeah, my man-eating tree is a little easier to deal with.
It better not be real.
The other thing, which, it's fine if he wants to change his hair, but it was pretty iconic, that frothly hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guy said his name was Chin, but Luke knows who Chin is. Luke can identify a frothly haircut from a mile away, apparently. So that Chin made an appearance and not his hair, I'm doubting that was really Chin.
Maybe it's just the kind of thing that's like intricate when you're up close to it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe frothly hair just is not as wild as we expect it to be.
Maybe not.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Maybe it's just like an everyday haircut to them.
That, or like he's been in the forest for a couple of days. He might have had a haircut in the. It's one of those hairdos that like you have to set like a mohawk, and then because it was spurs, right? Hair spurs. And those spurs are set for a couple of days, and then they kind of like relax. And just the hair spurs. He needs to go back to his hairdresser, and hasn't been off world in a while to get those spurs reset.
Right? Yeah.
Maybe he just hasn't washed it and it's all like oily and matted down and gross. And
Maybe he showered last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I thought was awesome, the audio map.
Oh yeah.
I want that. That'd be so useful.
Yeah, that seems like a real good thing for like a video game HUD.
Yeah. They should bring it into the next Jedi game and make a mechanic out of it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, particularly we were talking that the thing that it's really lacks is stealth in the game, and it would be good if that would be good to implement into a stealth section of like, well, you can hear where these people are, or like you can pick up the comms transmission from the helmets or something, and
that would be so fun.
Slightly off topic. I'm really excited about the new Star Wars game, Outlaws. But I saw like somebody reviewing the trailer for it, and they're like, "Can you believe it? It takes a whole 30 seconds for you to get to space in this game." And it's like, shut your mouth. Like it has like a really cool animation for you to fly off planet and get to space, and they're like,
takes
30 seconds,
1,000 years.
Yeah. Big fan of audio map.
I need what does an audio map look like?
What I'm guessing is like they have a terrain map, and then they're like overlaying where the sound is coming from.
I imagine it as like waveforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or really more like where it's like a dot in the center and then multiple rings going out from it.
Oh,
there has to be a term for that pattern.
Like a sonar, or
sonar. That works. We'll go with
Sonar,
that.
yeah.
Just like little dots on the map, and the sound is going out. Maybe it's colored by intensity or whatever.
Actually, I'm seeing something similar to that. It's like a city sound map, and the bigger the ball, the more intense the sound from that area is.
Oh, I see this.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
But, I enjoyed this little scene where they're like talking about the maneuvers and trying to figure out what the fuck their plan is, and then I do like that he does still introduce himself as Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like Mara Jade.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about why do people not recognize Jorus as Jorus? And, you know, it could just be like one of those things of like, his accent says this, my accent says that. You know, not everybody says Mary.
That's true. Well, and then the name that she drops, like, she just has that ready to go. Remember?
Yeah. I'm sure she has like a whole Rolodex in her head of names that she's like.
But that's why I was thinking, I was like, is Mara Jade even her real name, or is that also an alias?
Oh, yeah. Okay, no, I can see definitely how that comes out.
You know, I'm still not... I know it's way past it. I'm still not over the fact that Juror Sephiroth is just a clone of the real Juror Sephiroth stuck on a planet pretending to be a god for some reason. Like, it's probably one of the most convoluted things in this story, and it's just kind of not talked about too much.
Yeah, kind of a big deal, but nobody talks about it.
Yeah.
Well, when we get some more Joros action, we'll definitely start talking about that.
I have been missing him.
Yeah.
We
haven't seen him for quite a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was missing Thrawn as well until we, got a little snippet of it last chapter. I wanted more Thrawn and Palaeon. They're a good combo. I like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make a cute couple.
Dude, they're so cute.
Jeruis is probably sitting on Joe Mark this whole time.
Yeah.
Wondering, where is that boy?
He's just doing crunches all day.
Yeah. He's been planking this entire time.
No, planks are too easy for that guy. He's like Spider-Maning across the...
Yeah.
Is it crawling or something?
Yeah, planks are just his resting posture. Yeah. So.
Pinky push-ups.
That's
I
how
don't
he
know
goes
if
to
you
sleep.
guys have seen like human flags or dragon flags or anything like that. That's pretty insane.
Oh yeah, those are insane. That takes a lot of core strength.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where you
You like hold on to a pole and then
pole or something?
And you act as a flag.
Right.
So that's what he's been doing this whole time.
Right. Yeah.
The dragon flag is the Bruce Lee one, where you are not going horizontal, you're holding onto something above your head and resting on your shoulders while trying to pull your entire torso up. Dragon flag is a step towards human flag. Human flag is more intense than dragon flag.
Oh, wow.
At least I think it is. I can't do a human flag. I can do a dragon flag. But
Nice.
I also don't have the equipment to attempt that.
Yeah. Looks like a lot.
Yeah.
So they make it into the city.
Mm-hmm.
We get another lovely, perfect Imperial formation. Which that just makes me chuckle and smile every time.
Yeah. Palaeon's been drilling them well.
Yeah. I think it's adorable to imagine stormtroopers doing that. And then they have Han Solo.
Yeah.
Right.
I was surprised they just, very unceremoniously, they got him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just there.
I was expecting a little bit that it was like they were going to have him end of chapter, and the next chapter was going to be him and Lando like doing whatever they do to get captured.
Right. It goes back to show the heist or whatever.
Oh yeah. 24 hours earlier.
We get Ocean's 11 at the end of this chapter.
And we have the setup for the weapon exchange. We've got Luke's lightsaber in hiding somewhere. We've got
Not somewhere, in someone.
In someone.
Yeah.
I did forget. I fucking love that. Luke's like, yeah, this is the same maneuver I pulled off back in Thomas
Got him again.
Do you think he just like does this with R2 as a game?
Oh, I'm sure there's practice.
It's like, hey, R2, you want to play catch?
Right. He just plays catch with her too.
It's like those. Luke is like one of those dogs in that toy where the dogs are supposed to put the tennis ball in it, and he puts it in and he launches it, and he goes and chases after it.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke's the dad.
Yeah, I was thinking more of this as like a father-son thing, but now it's like now I definitely see Luke as the dog chasing after this automated throwing machine.
Well, it's perfect because Han is Chewie's dog.
Yeah. Luke is R2's dog.
And then at the end of the chapter, Luke trips R2 so that he falls over and so that he can deliver his message, right?
That seems like an impressive task.
Yeah.
To trip a droid, that lower center of mass. But then also, if you're hiding a lightsaber in there, what safeguards have you got that, like, rattling your droid doesn't
clinking around
send the blade straight through him?
Right.
I think it would be hilarious if R2 just was not expecting it. He gets tripped and like all of him just falls out. Just like all of his shit just gets rattled all over the floor.
Yeah.
He's hiding not just Luke's lightsaber, but like some knuckle dusters.
He's got like a Tommy gun in there somewhere.
Like 6 or 7 sonic rings fall out of him.
He's got some nunchucks in there.
A week's worth of spice. It is smuggling for somebody.
Sticks.
3 golden coins form a triangle around him.
And a gold doubloon.
Yes.
Luke's lunch.
Half-eaten sandwich.
Maybe he's got Jimmy Hoffa in there too.
A Nintendo Switch.
It's funny that the warden guy was like, what was that? What was that transmission looks like? I don't know. He was probably telling me off because I tripped him. He probably really was telling him off.
Yeah, he probably was.
That's another thing that surprised me, that he actually had, like, R2 had to make outside noise to send a transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little unusual, but...
Well, I guess it would be more obvious if he put up his little little dome thing. What is it called? Antenna?
Satellite.
Little satellite link to... Like, he's definitely sending a transmission there.
I mean, was dial-up a thing when this was written? So maybe internet connections are just loud at this point in human history. And that's the only reference Timothy Zahn had.
No, yeah, they're lying in wait somewhere around the corner. So just yelling out in some obscure language is, pretty efficient, I think. Particularly if it's disguised as, "Hey, buddy, what do you think you're fucking doing here?"
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything they want to say about this chapter?
No, I feel like we're heading towards a climax for the book.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is chapter 28. We've got 4 chapters left. There's obviously going to be a Sluice Fan chapter.
I think this is going to end on Sluice Fan.
Yeah. So our heroes are going to be not even in the thick of it. They're just getting off Myrkr at the end of the book, you think? Are we going to have a time jump?
I don't
Anything goes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we got to read on and find out.
Yeah.
Next on The Lost Holocron.
Yeah.
We're going to have that transatlantic accent. Will R2 spill his lunch? What's going on next time in The Lost Holocron? Will Thrawn and Paleon kiss?
I will draw a Sabayoth feel.
Drew Saber feel left out.
Will Mara Jade finally chill the fuck out?
Will Luke's face be like that forever?
What if they cannot find the antidote? This has been The Lost Holocron. You can find transcripts, linked to discussion, and more at our website, lostholocron.com. While you're there, you can learn how you can support the creation of future episodes. Read on, and we'll be waiting for you in the next transmission. We'll be honored if you would join us.